because I needed a date. I didn't know David, but he didn't have plans, so he was the answer to my prayers. We were total polar opposites. He was in Ivy League, I was at a state school. He was Jewish, I was Catholic. Nobody would have ever predicted that we would have made it, but we did. So 31 years later, here we are.
Here we are.
I was diagnosed when Katie was 5 years old.
Malia won't talk about herself like that, but she was among the top trial lawyers in Dallas. We had 3 children, and we spent a lot of time when they were younger traveling. We went all over the place.
My symptoms were fairly insignificant at that point.
But I remember one time we were on a trip and we were going down a trail, and you came out almost walking sideways, and I was like, wow, something is really wrong.
Sometimes people describe those diseases as paralysis, as weakness. They instinctively think that this is something like related to the muscles or the peripheral nerves. But we forget that the muscles receive the signals from the brain and the spinal cord. And the problem in those diseases, in most of those diseases, is that there is a damage in the nerves of the brain and the spinal cord that give the signals to the muscles to work.
People with disabilities, their world gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And it was getting as small as it could for Malia and all the things she wanted to do.
David has been a promoter of Israel since I've known David. If David had told me, oh, look at Hadassah Hospital in Israel first, I would have thought, oh, you're just biased. I found it on my own, and David knew that was the place to go.
The one that looked most promising, the one that looked like real science, was Dr. Karussis.
Before I did the research to find out about Hadassah Hospital and Dr. Karussis, I knew nothing about Hadassah. All my life, I feel like I've been a very strong advocate for people and causes that I felt like were important. But Hadassah was out there helping me when I didn't know that.
Here we go inside and we say, let's take one of these adult stem cells. We can take from the patient. We don't need any donor. So there's absolutely no risk for rejection. And enhance the natural process of regeneration by injecting the cells directly to the place of the damage. Then the adult stem cells receive the signals of danger, the signals of damage, and they can start building the tissue.
Before my second infusion, where I met some people from Hadassah from the United States that happened to be in Israel, and they came to my room the morning after my infusion, and they were cheering for me. They were so excited.
In hours, Malia was doing, within actually minutes of the infusion, Malia was doing different things. So within hours, she was doing a lot of different things. She could move muscles in her leg that she couldn't do before. Her speech was improved almost immediately, and all these things have been maintained over a long time at this point.
For any neurologist to see a patient who has lost the function, and this lost function we know that never recovers in degeneration of the brain or the spinal cord, and then you see that she regains the function of moving the arms, the fingers, or the leg, it is really moving. This is really, really astonishing.
So you did that. That's what you did.
Very happy that that we're now at this stage, because 5 years earlier we could not imagine that this clinical trial will be at this stage so fast. These treatments will be one of the major tools to treat degenerative diseases of the brain and the spinal cord.
Now we have hope, and we have the opportunity to look at the options that we have to do all the things that we love.
The power of one woman giving what she can makes a huge difference. We are in a position to save a lot of people, and the stem cell research that's happening right now is, we know, is helpful to patients with MS and ALS, may be helpful to people with a lot of other neurological problems. And with the right funding and the right donations, we can save a lot of other people as well.